Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, it was zone 4. Zone 4 for me. Just outside zone 3. And zone 3 is a bloody big area. And yet I still missed it and got to zone 4. What can I say about this? Well, I say every week that one of my players, the line is usually spot on. But it's the other one I mess up. But if I look at this fella down here right at the bottom, go up through there to mine, I sort of had that angle right again. However, if I'd been given 100 free crosses to play for this, I would never have put any of them that low. I'm very surprised at that. And why I'm a bit perplexed by this is because for the winning average to be there, that means some of the judges must have... I haven't looked at the judging yet because the results were late today. They only just come in. Some of the judges must have gone even lower than his hand, which goes completely against the guy's eyes because he's looking up in that sort of direction. So how some of the judges have gone down here, I don't know. I don't know how low they've gone. Perhaps only a few of them went sort of just above there. And of course there must have been a few over here as well, this low. So yeah, zone 4 for me. I had a few pence back. But like I say, I only ever played my one cross, so I play the one cross so I don't get stressed over losing. So just in it for the fun and the potential of winning. And there's been one cross winners many a time. Alright, let's have a look at the judging then, because I'm dying to see this, how they come to the conclusion it was that low. Oh, good grief. Look how spread out they are. My word. Right, we've got three in the middle here. One spot on that winning average, but if it's still a winning average, I don't know if they're going to take crosses out yet. And where would you take crosses out? There's no cluster there, is it? Everybody's seen this completely different. We've got one over here and one over here. My problem with that one there and that one there is to have put those there, you had to have ignored this fella's line of sight. Because there's no way you can go over there, follow his line of sight when he's looking up in that direction. What else we got? We got one on his hand. Well, it just never seemed likely, did it, to me? Again, for that one on his hand, you've now got to ignore that player there in the middle, in the background. It seems as though they all seem to have just picked one player to go by rather than what all the players could have been looking at. I mean, I did say this fella on the right here, he was a bit of a red herring because he was never looking up at the ball. He's looking at this fella to see what he's doing. So you only really had these two to look at. But it looks like most of them have just gone by one player rather than try and get the middle of both of them. Perhaps some of these have, and that one up there. But that one, and that one, they've only looked at a particular player. But good Lord, two up there as well, miles and miles apart. Huge spread. That's got to be one of the biggest spreads we've seen from the judges in a long, long, long time. But it just goes to show how people can see it so differently. So, do I think they're going to take any out? I think the one from the hand should be taken out. My problem is they usually take one away that's nowhere near the cluster, but there isn't a cluster as such. There's three up here, even they're not that close together. The ones down here will balance out the ones at the top. I think they'll just leave them all in. I can't see it would be fair to take one out and not take, others out. Right, let's skip to the end, see what happens. There we are, they're just about to submit their crosses then, and they haven't taken any out. And it was 8 judges, by the way, this week, forgot to mention that. Well, you can see that from the 8 crosses. So yeah, they didn't take any out. Like I said, it would have been awkward to take any out, because how would you pick which ones to take out? Anyway, can't do anything about it, can we? Let's have a look at this week's picture then. Okay then, where have I gone so far? Where's my first cross of the week? Well, I've had a quick look, and you can see him up here, look, just up there. I don't know if you can see it easily. Why have I gone there? Because it's the first one, and could be miles out, as I say every week. Because it's the only place I could go that quickly that I thought made sense. Because this fella's looking up, there's no sense of urgency with where he's looking. Let me change the colour of that cross, because I'm colourblind and I can't even see that properly. Let's go for a blue one. Right, draw a line. That's better. I can see that. There you are. So I've gone up that way because I don't think. I mean, I'm looking at the angle of his head, but he looks as though he's looking higher than the angle of his head. So I've gone up in that direction, and then I've looked at the player behind him, which, looking at the shape of his body there, and his position of his arms, I know he's been photoshopped in, but they'll judge it on it being a real picture, and that's the way we're meant to judge it. But he looks as though he's right behind him and looking at the ball, so he's got to be able to see it over the top of his head. So if I draw a line from him, then I'm looking up in that direction, and that's where my two eye lines meet there. But I don't think, if you look at this guy, the way he's holding his arms out, it's like as if, well, there's no rush, the ball isn't that close to my face, he hasn't screwed his face up or anything. The guy behind us is the same. There seems to be sort of no urgency. They're just all the time in the world waiting for it to come down to him, because he hasn't headed it, because his arms would have been back if he'd headed it. So it's coming down, and he's ready to catch it. So that's what I am so far. That's 3035791. I'll put that in as the first cross of the week. And I've gone for different vehicles this week, because normally I go for the BMW X1, the small SUV that they do, which is a 2-litre diesel, because it's fabulous on fuel. I could tow a caravan with it. Not that I've got a caravan, but I'd probably sell my camper van and get a caravan. This week I've gone for the one of the double ups. Now I never go for the double ups, because what would I do with two vehicles? It's just expense. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, I've got grown-up kids with children of their own. I'm sure one of them could do with a car. So I've gone for that Ineos Grenadier and the Mini Cooper S. So I'll keep that Ineos, because that would be ideal. I'd have the 3-litre diesel one for towing a caravan and generally mucking about off-road. And then I'd give the Mini to my favourite child. You shouldn't say that, should you? I don't know, I'd work something out. But there you are, but that's what I am this week, only because at the moment it's that area, not necessarily that spot, but that area that makes the most sort of sense to me to take in both their eye lines and their look on their faces at the moment. Right, let's have a quick look at Revcomps. What have I got for Thursday's draw? Hardly anything. We've already covered these. I want sort of, ideally for the cheap tickets, I want a runabout back and forth to work a couple of days a week. I don't want anything that's expensive to run. So, I mean, that's, 20,000 tickets and a tenner a ticket, so I didn't bother with that. So the Volvo and the Audi, their value, they're quite modern cars, and their value would have been over 40 grand retail, and so the road tax on that's going to be 600 quid a year. Didn't want that. Wasn't interested in the van and tools, but the Mini, cheap enough. It's a 2020 Mini, 6 quid a ticket, only 6,000 tickets. I thought, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'll have one on there. So I did. Then they added some more for next Monday. Golf R, I do like a Golf R. 7 quid a ticket, 8,000 tickets. I thought, yeah, go on, we'll have one of them. Didn't do anything on this, even though it's cheap tickets, it's high odds, and I think this was left-hand drive when I had a quick look earlier on. That was out of the question for me, the Aston Martin, 200 quid a ticket. I do like a 330D BMW, because they are so quick. There's one used to pass me every morning with a woman driving it, and she drove it like a twat, but I mean, you could see how quick it was, how fast it would take off, and I thought, yeah, it's a practical car, yeah, like that. Hilux, 30 quid a ticket, no, I give that a miss. This is nice. It's a 1.3, something like 150 brake horsepower, 7-seater. Nice little car. But again, that's probably going to be over 40 grand retail price to buy new. So that's going to be £600 a year tax. So I didn't want that. So for Thursday, next Monday then, I'm just on the Golf R and the BMW. So auto draws. I haven't bothered with the auto draws for these newer ones. This gets drawn today. Skoda Octavia. Nice little car, 3.5 quid, 10,000 tickets. So 1.5. The Digger, I didn't bother with tickets on the Digger, or this Porsche, 60,000 tickets. Then you got the Bentley, 30,000 tickets. The BM, that's a possibility. It's only £2 a ticket with 20,000 tickets. I'll decide. I might have to come back to that. There we are. That's it for me. Let me know how you got on, guys, because I don't think any of us went as low as some of these judges went, and I'm surprised that the average was that low, let alone how low some of the judges went. I'm very surprised at that, because I thought there was 2 players we could have gone from their eye lines and their body language, and we had an area which it must have been in that area, but it seems as though most of the judges only looked at sort of a particular player, one or the other, and played by that accordingly, rather than try and find that midpoint between the two. And leave me a coordinate then for Saturday, so we can see what you guys are thinking and see what average we can work out. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week, and good luck, everyone.